What was the scariest night you've had, Ethan?
I mean, it's just gotta be like the first one.
Oh, yeah.
The first night? Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about Hanukkah, right?
Yeah. We're talking about the first night of Hanukkah because you get like an eraser.
Yeah.
Because like you have your baby and then they give it to you and then you go home and sleep and you're like, what do I do? And the only instruction books are like 300-page, like how to parent books, which nobody agrees on the same thing. I get it. This is the segment of the show where we check up on Ethan as a new dad.
Yeah.
It's going well. You know, the Olympics are on.
Simone, Rebecca, Jordan, the girls.
Speaking of lists, okay, this is the sports corner. Speaking of lists,
Yeah.
ESPN, as we talked about in the previous episode that I definitely am almost done editing, put out a list of the top 100 athletes of the century so far.
Interesting.
And Simone, this was before the Olympics.
Okay.
Right? Simone was number 7. And the people ahead of her were Federer and Tom Brady and LeBron James and Messi and Serena Williams, and number 1 was Michael Phelps. And I generally was like, that's correct. I actually think that that's like the right list. And now I how high does Biles go on that list? Is she above, she truly above Messi? Like, she might be?
I think she has 6 moves named after her. I recommend, if you haven't watched her Netflix special yet, it's so interesting to hear. I think I was a lot more dialed in watching her for her individual all around, because I was paying attention to her eyes to make sure she didn't have the twisties. And it's so interesting, I think, for gymnastics, how, I mean, you make a wrong move and you're paralyzed. It's such an incredible feat of athleticism that they do, much like cinema. So it was cinematic.
I have a hard time with a list like that, because how do you define best athlete? Do you define it by gold medals? How can you compare somebody playing, let's say, soccer or football, where they have to run constantly the entire time, to a gymnast who does a 60-second routine? Granted, yes, there's a lot of training. I'm not speaking down to anything, but I don't know how you can compare different athletes in different sports and what criteria you can use. Do I think Simone should be number 1? Yes. Do I think it should be compared to a quarterback? I don't know.
I mean, that's what's the fun thing about lists, though, right? Is it is arbitrary and it isn't objective, and the making the case is the fun part. But to your point, I think that the thing that I've really enjoyed about this Olympics is how diverse the athletic body types there are, and just being this person built their body for this skill and this person built their body for this skill. And I feel like in America, we're so used to a football and basketball athlete look. And some of these people, the guy who did the high jump or did the pole vaulting and set the world record, that guy is incredibly athletic, and just, he doesn't look like Tom Brady or LeBron James or Simone Biles. And I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, the French guy that got points docked because of his bulge when he was doing the pole vaulting. It was a great time.
Let's get specific. His giant penis knocked down the pole.
On Twitter, the person with the tweet that went viral called it a pecker, and I thought that was the best word to describe it.
Yeah, he didn't have a penis, he had a pecker.
And so long. Is that the top 5 words for penis?
For the record, the only reason I watched the Olympics was not for the athletes or the sports. It's for the gossip coming out of who's having sex with who. And
they're not on those cardboard beds.
No, they find ways. They're athletes.
They had 300,000 condoms going to the Olympic Village.
But most of them have left the Olympic Village because there's no AC, the beds are bad, the food is allegedly bad in the village. So I don't even know how many people are left in the village right now.
Wow.
But is there anything funnier in the history of comedy than a pole vaulter getting eliminated because his penis got in the way?
A+.
I don't think you can write that. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. We love sports on this movie podcast.
We do.
Now, Ethan, what are your feelings about female boxers? Sorry.
Y'all, it's getting hard to like even like Harry Potter casually out here.
Oh,
It's
I
getting
know,
hard.
and they have like a new show coming out.
yeah. She could have just been silent and it would have been fun. Her legacy would have been great. And yet, I don't know.
So, should I constantly break the fourth wall in this episode, Deadpool style? Should I be like, welcome to I Need to See That, a podcast about movies. There are 25 of you probably listening to us right now. I'm Eli, the person who speaks directly to you.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Ethan, and I'm already exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
It's great to see you too, Ethan.
All year, the rumor was, get ready for Deadpool and Wolverine because it's going to blow up the box office.
And it
And
did.
yeah, it fucking blew up the box office. Although, Inside Out 2, holy shit, it's already past $1 billion. It's
But
at
they,
like
1.5.
1.6 billion.
yeah, but they
Oh my
had that
God.
deal though. So it's 100 days that Inside Out 2 is in theaters before it goes to Disney Plus. I think that's the deal they made.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think that helps because it didn't go to streaming immediately.
It's making so much money. Deadpool's making so much money. I think Disney also had the Planet of the Apes movie, right? That made a crazy load of money. Disney's doing okay right now. They also just
Newsflash.
gave raises to their employees after they went on strike, right? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
did.
know.
I don't know. I'm not a Disney adult. Don't cancel me. But
But I want to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine in this episode. I saw it. Caroline, I'm guessing you never saw it and you never will. Ethan,
No.
did you see it?
No, I chose to spend time with my newborn daughter instead of supporting Ryan Reynolds.
yeah, I saw a bunch of
Don't
smaller.
cancel me.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of other smaller independent movies.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And then we'll talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. And I just want to do like kind of a state of the union for Marvel because I'm intrigued.
Oh.
I'm intrigued about what's happening, where they're going, and their history. And
Wow,
there are
Caroline
a lot
just-
of movies out there.
Caroline just ripped up the speech Nancy Pelosi style, as you even said, State of the Union.
Every part of me thought you were going to say ripped ass, and that made me laugh as well. So I was already laughing when you said the word Caroline just ripped.
Is that the
But-
kind of humor that's in Deadpool and Wolverine, Eli?
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
I had a feeling. Yeah.
Cool.
But Caroline, you've been seeing a lot of movies. You saw a lot. Honestly, the last movie I saw before Deadpool and Wolverine is Longlegs, and we already talked about that. So tell me about the movies you've seen.
Okay, so since we last spoke, I finally saw Sing Sing, and it's my number one.
Sing Sing.
Yeah, number one movie of the year. I think
Same.
it finally wide released August 2nd because I wasn't sure what was going on. It was only in New York and LA for like 3 weeks, but it was only in 1 or 2 theaters. If Coleman Domingo is not on that stage wearing, I'm just so excited for his outfits this upcoming award season. I think if they play it right and as they should, he will be Best Actor 2025. I think we're on the track, but it's such a beautiful, moving piece of just like, it's like why you love theater, why you love art, and seeing these rehabilitated people who were incarcerated and how theater helped them change themselves and how the system is very effective. I can't recommend, I keep thinking about it. It's been on my mind, and please see it in theaters if you can. I mean, as we say for all these movies, but it's a truly special movie-going experience.
Yeah, Sing Sing knocked me out. I think I've talked about it on this pod before. Coleman Domingo, obviously. I think he's pretty much a lock for Best Actor,
Yeah.
at least a nomination. Paul Raci, also amazing, previously
Yeah.
from Sound of Metal. Chicago guy.
Yeah.
But I think Clarence, is it McClin?
Yeah, Divine
He's
Eye.
playing himself, a former Sing Sing prisoner who was a part of the theater program. He steals the movie. There's a great Mark Maron podcast episode with him. I know that they're campaigning him. They're already screening
Yeah,
it
they
for
should.
Academy members. I really hope he gets a nomination because he just blew me away.
Yeah.
Go see Sing Sing. Related movie is called Ghostlight, which is on on demand right now. Very similar vibe. It's about how theater can change you. Very related to there's Shakespeare references in there too. Great movie as well. But Sing Sing, just like you, Caroline, that's my number one movie so far.
Yeah.
And it's going to be kind of hard to beat it. Although there's some good looking movies coming out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Can I ask, like, I consider myself in the know of movies. I listen to podcasts. I follow blogs. I have a Letterboxd. I knew about Sing Sing. Obviously, we've talked about it. Like, how does it doesn't feel like it made a dent the way that Past Lives, as an example of sort of an art fair movie from the summer like last year, made. How does a movie like that get from today to Oscar nomination day?
I think, well, it's only just now kind of getting released. So I feel like I'm curious to see what it's like 4 weeks from now. Because I feel like I was just listening to Las Culturistas and they both just saw it and were talking about it. So I feel like in 2 to 3 weeks we'll be hearing more about it. It's had a weird, I don't know. It's funny. It's kind of lining up with a lot of the A24 releases. I don't really know what they're doing with them right now. Like they're just kind of getting dumped and then you don't hear about them. But I think that what will be smart, I think closer to Oscar season, is they need to get Coleman and Divine Eye on the like press circuit. Because I think the two of them talking about it and them getting to know the fact that like most of these actors aren't real actors and they're actual alumni of this program. So I think that would help. But I don't know, Eli, what do you think?
There is no correlation between box office popularity and getting an Oscar nomination. They're doing the screenings for Academy members right now of Sing Sing. Similar to Thelma. Like Thelma actually did okay at the box office, but it came and it's already on demand. I still am holding out hope that June Squibb gets at least a Golden Globe nomination.
Yeah, I think she will.
Regardless of if people are actually seeing the movie. I think with a movie like Sing Sing, it's going to be more getting a nomination will get people to see it versus people see it and then it gets a nomination, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, comparing it to Past Lives, I'm not sure why Past Lives got so popular and Sing Sing. Yeah, I don't think it's doing bad, but it isn't the same Past Lives thing. Having said that, A24 knows what they're doing. I have no doubt in my mind that A24 knows what they're doing with this.
Yeah. So we'll see. What else have I seen? Okay, Fly Me to the Moon, which Eli went on the record one of the last episodes said he'd rather gouge his eyes out than see Fly Me to the Moon. And I have to say, it was delightful. It was one of the mid-budget movies we need more of in theaters. This is exactly what we're missing. It was exactly what I wanted. Woody Harrelson was Woody Harrelson. Channing Tatum doesn't necessarily belong in this era, but like Scarlett Johansson is charming. The guy from Community is very funny. It's delightful. Anyone over 50 will love it. And they should seek it out on Apple TV Plus.
Wait. You said mid-budget.
Yeah. Like mid-budget.
Caroline?
I know it was
Tell me, what's the budget of Fly Me to the Moon?
It was $100 million. Yes. I know.
It was $100 million.
But to me, it's mid-budget in like that. It was the like the story. Like that is the like, this was what I got what I wanted out of it and then some. It was I got left feeling like I had a weighted blanket on me.
Can I ask you then, let's say that how much of that budget do you feel like was given to Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum?
Probably, I would say, and Woody Harrelson, probably 50%.
Like,
I know.
And Jim Rash.
That's the guy from Community. I couldn't think of his name. He was great.
That's just like crazy because that movie is just never going to make $100 million back. And like, if that movie cost $30 million to make, I don't know. But that's crazy.
I know, but it's from the Apple TV stuff where they just kind of, going to be crass, they pump and dump, and we don't know where any of those TVs and movies go.
So as of right now, the budget was $100 billion. What was the box office it made so far?
I think week one, it made like 11 million.
Total box office gross so far as of this recording, $36.9 million. The budget was $100 million. That's not looking good for your movie.
Apple doesn't need that money, but it's just crazy to me that. And what does it say about Channing Tatum or Scarlett Johansson when they're not wearing capes or something?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That movie could have been a 25. If you're saying that what showed up was like the money on screen was Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, then I don't know. Make that movie with less stars for $25 million, and now it would have made money.
I know.
It is funny that the one Academy Award winner in this cast is Jim Rash. That's my favorite fun fact, is he won an Oscar because he wrote The Descendants.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And he did. Remember, he won, and he did like the Angelina Jolie leg thing on stage.
The best moment. Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, he's delightful. I can't recommend him enough. Then other little independent film I saw, Twisters.
Tell me about Twisters. I want to see it. I still haven't seen Twisters. I know it did very well.
I think you should see it in theaters. I'm not of the 40X contingent, but I have heard the 40X experience is insane because they use a lot of smoke and wind and things like that. It is definitely a movie, and it was fun to see in a packed theater the week that it came out. I definitely recommend, like, Glenn Powell is the heart and the soul and the charm of it all. The issue I had with that is that I don't know that Daisy Edgar Jones is that charismatic, and same for Anthony Ramos. It felt like when the two of them were on the screen, they sort of kind of sucked the air out of it a little bit. And we read a review going in that I fully agree with. The movie needed to be smarter or dumber, and it's somewhere in between. And I was like, if we're going to go full dumb, the villain in the movie that we sort of kind of drop off, I wish he'd been sucked up in a tornado. Like, let's do that. But I know the director was from Minari, so he was trying to be lean a little bit more highbrow. But I think we're landed in between. But it's a beautiful, fun movie that, like, summer popcorn.
The original is perfectly dumb.
It's so perfectly dumb.
Oh, it's the perfect amount of dumb.
Yeah.
This movie was shot on film, too, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell is a star now, right? Because this did well at the box office. I think that cements him. I think he's officially a star. Can we do a quick deep dive on Daisy Edgar Jones? Because I hear she's a little controversial in this movie.
I will say it's tough. Watching a British actors try to do like Oklahoman accents. And I think that the issue that is with her character as well, her character's kind of passive. She has anxiety from being in a tornado, which I find like is like not as interesting to watch as Helen Hunt in the original. Her father dies in the tornado, and then she's disruptive, which is much more interesting to watch. And we also had the like undergoing through line of them getting the divorce papers signed. That was sort of separate from the Twisters itself. And it was missing a lot of the suspense. Like, you think about the drive-in scene in Twister and how the blade cut through the screen. Like, that is like still something that sits with me. And I don't know. I'm not thinking of many big shots from Twisters, sadly. And I wanted it to be my movie of the summer, so it was a bummer, actually.
I knew Daisy Edgar Jones first from, I think, Gentleman Jack, and then I definitely from Normal People. That's a great show. And then the movie Fresh, which I really liked. Did either of you see the movie Fresh? That's a really good movie. It's her and Sebastian Stan, and it's a little cannibal-y kind of romantic movie. It's great. But then you get fucking Where the Crawdads Sing, and now Twisters. Why is she constantly like Southern? Whatever.
Yeah,
I like her. Normal People's great, so I'll always support her. But
yeah, I'll see. The other big thing is they filmed a kiss for the movie and they cut it. They don't kiss at all in this movie, which is insane. Like they meet up at the spoiler alert. They meet up at the airport at the end, but they don't kiss. They like go to, but then someone on Twitter showed footage of them kissing. I don't know. There's a lot of X factors. I'm not sure what happened with this movie.
The original had Philip Seymour Hoffman and the director of Tar
Todd Field, yeah.
just hanging out as storm chasers. Like, who are those equivalents? And if this movie doesn't have them, it's just not as good.
We do have Katie from Love Lies Bleeding, Katie O'Brien. And that was
Oh,
yeah, so that was delighted.
Oh, you also get Sasha Lane's in there too. Is an incredible actress.
Yeah, so it was exciting to see them, but it's like different because a lot of this is through the lens of like it's now, so it's like through YouTube, which is kind of annoying inherently.
Glenn Powell's a star,
But he's a star, yeah. So
and he might get an Oscar nomination for writing Hitman.
Yeah,
and like
I would love that.
He's the dude. He's the dude right now.
I mean, when he rolls up in the truck and he's in a white shirt, I mean, it was worth my AMC A-list reservation. But yeah, everything else
Hey,
about
Caroline.
the movie, yeah.
Just because you have a female character doesn't mean she has to kiss the main character.
Okay,
Just
but
throwing that out there.
okay, but when the entire movie is about them having chemistry, it's just it was a lot of build up with no payoff.
I see Eli being an ally, and I see Caroline just trying to sexualize women.
Oh, okay.
In the midst of a storm.
Oh,
Hey, Caroline,
my God.
Bechtel called. They want their test back.
Okay. Wow. I'm sure you're having a great time.
But
And
what
then,
else did you see? I know you're wearing a special T-shirt right
such
now.
a T-shirt. So that I've seen, 4 more movies that I've seen that are exciting. National Anthem, who was a directorial debut by Luke Guilford. That's what I thought. I think he's a photographer, right? But it's about like queer life in New Mexico. And it's just a nice little slice of life. I can't recommend. It's enough. It's probably streaming by now. It was out of theaters like a week ago. And then similarly of that directorial debut, Sean Wang, Dee Dee, it's set in 2008. If you grew up on AIM and MySpace, the way that they are able to use technology in this and to have it feel like you could, so I saw this opening week. It came out the same weekend as Deadpool versus Wolverine. The theater was packed for this, which was so amazing to see. But you could feel everyone seizing when he's typing to his crush online on AIM, and it's character by character, and you're seeing him go back and forth through how he's typing to her. And like, we all know what that was like. And when he's having to check his top,
100%.
yeah, it was in the dramatic, the dramatism of it is so delightful to watch. Joan Chen, if she's not nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I'll be really upset about that. She gives an incredible performance as the mom, but it's a wonderful coming of age, I think, for our generation in particular. And like it does a great job, I think, of incorporating that technology in a way that I think a lot of films struggle with.
That movie's gonna be hard for me to watch if it's about that.
Yeah.
What was your AIM name? Do you remember?
Carolina Licious, and I was upset because I brought it up before Fergalicious, and I was like, this was my thing. But what were your
Caroline?
Yeah, what were your names?
I was Bassball 41, so like baseball, but I took the last letter off of base and ball.
Did you play the bass?
So I did, but that's not why it was Bassball. So
Hilarious.
it's BASBAL. It's like a disease.
DuckTales 99, I think, was mine.
Wow.
I don't remember why. I didn't even like that show, but I like the song. I think that's why. I think it's because I had the song on my iPod and I'd listen to it constantly.
Were you getting a lot of girls?
DuckTales, woo!
Were you getting a lot of girls?
I used to
with
wait
that
for
screen
my
name?
crush to come online. I used to wait so long. Like, I would be like, I can't go out. I have to sit here on my computer and wait. And then the second my crush would get online, I'd write, hi. And she'd write back, hi. And I'd be like, what's up? And then she'd be like, NMU. And I'd write NM. And then she'd say BRB. And that was the extent of my conversation.
What's her name? Say the name. Say the name out loud.
Michelle Golden.
Wow. and now we see it come full circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my AIM.
Oh, I love it. Well,
conversation.
It's delightful. There's also like a funny throwaway like joke that was funny to me. Like, he's scrolling through someone's Facebook photo albums, and the title was "Dark Night Round 6 with the Homies." LOL. Which is perfect for this group. So I can't recommend it enough. It's out in theaters now. Go see it. And I was letterboxed at a screening of His Three Daughters. It's coming out on Netflix September 8th. So I got to see it at Netflix last week, which was really cool. Although it was very funny, because a lot of the screenings in LA, you need to get here super early to make sure you get in. This was not the case. We were there too, early enough that they had no idea what we were talking about, and we're sort of milling about the Netflix lobby. But it stars Elizabeth Olsen, Carrie Coon, and Natasha Lyonne. And it's a film about three sisters in a New York City apartment having to deal with their dad on hospice, and he's about to pass away. It's very theatrical. My friends they had a very mixed reaction, but I think, I don't know, for me, I liked it a lot because I think I mean, because I've lost both my parents, it's a very interesting period of time where it feels like it's going by so slow, but also so fast. And I think I really appreciated the way that he captured this dynamic with these sisters, because it may seem like they're strangers in some ways, but it's also that kind of happens because these sibling dynamics are just all reactivated in this very stressful time. And it's kind of like you're going back to being teens. But Carrie Coon gets to Carrie Coon. Natasha should get nominated, I hope. And Elizabeth is sort of the comedic relief, but it's very a small little theater movie. And
Cool.
I think it's really great when it comes out.
Yeah, Natasha Lyonne got a lot of Oscar buzz when it played festivals last year, so I'm really intrigued to see. There's a world where we get both a Kieran Culkin and a Natasha Lyonne Oscar win.
It could be this year.
And I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
Eli, do your famous Natasha Lyonne impression.
Do it.
Okay, so
It sounds like
poker face.
it sounds like Phil Stiller.
Remember the show Poker Face?
Yeah.
What? That's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Season 2's coming out. And it's on
Listen,
track.
I'm only 27.
Or whatever. That's how she said it when she was 27.
Yeah. And it's on track. This is the last movie I saw this week.
Oh, God.
It was-
You loved it, didn't you?
It was so fun. It was really fun. Everyone in the theater was cackling. It was packed. Everyone was laughing. We got along with it. My big question is, I still don't know how Haley Mills is in this movie. And if you don't know who Haley Mills is, she was the original Parent Trap in the 1960s.
Who is she?
She's the FBI agent that is in charge of finding Josh Hartnett.
Wow. It feels like the internet in particular has sort of Adam Sandlerized M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Where he great in the beginning, just utter crap for a very long time. And now we've gotten to the point where we go, actually, it's our utter crap. We love your utter crap.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
so fun.
And it's, I'll say I mean, I haven't seen any of his movies in a while, but this one, it feels like you're in on the joke from very early on. And Josh Hartnett does a very good job of leaning into it. And Josh is back, baby. It's fun. It's, again, another one that's was just very fun to see with a crowd and everyone laughing. Because there's just so many things that are pointed about the employee telling him, oh, they're looking for the serial killer, the butcher, and all these silly things that happen. It's fun. It's a fun time.
Thank you for giving us a rundown of the movies you've seen, but there's really only one movie that is dominating the box office right now, and that's Deadpool versus Wolverine. Again, I'm the only one who saw it of the three of us, but I think we can have a pretty interesting conversation about Marvel movies and where they're heading. Because if you saw Comic-Con, they made some pretty major announcements about the future of Marvel. Did either of you see that? Are you up to date?
I texted us about it.
Yeah, and I said,
I don't pay attention.
You don't pay attention.
Oh, this is group therapy now.
Unbelievable.
How does that make you feel, Ethan?
No, here I was on the rocking chair, rocking my newborn daughter, trying to share a piece of my mind.
Why are you saying your daughter like that?
My daughter.
My daughter. My daughter. Real Housewives of New Jersey.
My daughter. Clip. I wanna have a conversation about Marvel movies because I want to know. Coming into this, Marvel was not doing well, both box office wise and just fan service wise. People were really down on Marvel. Marvel kept throwing out these TV shows and these movies after Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, which made more money than any other movie. Is it number 2 all-time highest grossing movie, or is it number 1? I don't know.
Endgame is number 3.
Number
after
3.
Both Avatar movies.
Okay. Great movie. I really like Endgame, we can talk about that in a little bit. But ever since then, box office has been down. Online fan service has been down. Everyone's been shitting on Marvel, both the TV shows and the movies. And everyone kept saying, just wait for Deadpool, just wait for Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, and it wins the box office. It brings Marvel back to life, if you will. I saw the movie, and I immediately texted you two, I have something embarrassing to say. I had fun watching this. Do I think Deadpool and Wolverine is a good movie? No. Did I have so much fun watching it? Fuck yeah, I did. This podcast is called I Need to See That. Yes, you need to see it. You just do. Go see it. Go see it in a crowded theater. Watch people laugh. So I forget who said it, but somebody called it Reddit the movie, because it just feels like a Reddit board of fans saying, you know what would be really cool? What if Deadpool fought an entire army of people using dead Wolverine's adamantium skeleton? That'd be really cool. And then it's in the fucking movie. Spoiler alert. Like, it's a nonstop movie that feels like it was pitched by 13, 14, 15, or 31, 32, 33-year-olds who just love Marvel and wanted to see the shit. My problem with the movie is twofold. One, does it look good? Not necessarily. We talked before about the director, and how if you look at his history of movies, he makes plain movies. He makes solid C+, B- movies that don't look spectacular, but they get the job done. Sean Lever we're talking about. And yeah, it's true here too. Does it look amazing? No, it looks like people on sets. I don't know. Especially because there's a lot of references in this movie to Logan, which is a superhero movie that is astonishingly beautiful. Does this look like that? No, this looks like a Marvel movie. I don't know. And then the other part I have a problem with is how often it breaks the fourth wall. And people say they're tired of Ryan Reynolds doing the Ryan Reynolds thing. This is the most Ryan Reynolds doing the Ryan Reynolds thing ever, but that's because Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. If you read the comics, if you look at the history of the character of Deadpool, he is Ryan Reynolds. Like, it is totally his voice. Deadpool is a character who in one comic book run not only killed everybody in all of Marvel, but then left the comic book and killed the artists who are currently painting the comic books. This is a real storyline that took place in the comic book. So can I be mad that a movie decides to break the fourth wall so much? Not with this character. That's kind of what they set up. It's just, my problem with this movie is similar to my problem with the last Doctor Strange movie, which is, yes, and I guess this is my issue with multiverse movies in general, which is all of the stakes are gone. In this movie, we see a lot of Fox characters pop up and then they die. And sure, it's multiverse. Who cares if they die? It's kind of comedic. But if they are the same characters who we have seen in these other movies, like Fantastic Four 1 or Fantastic Four 2, am I, as a fan of those two movies, to be sad that this character who I used to love just died? Because it's not played for reality. Or like in the Doctor Strange movie, Mr. Fantastic shows up, played by John Krasinski, and then he dies pretty much instantly. Am I supposed to be sad? Because it's not played for sadness, because I am living in a world where there are any amount of world. It's the Rick and Morty factor, right? That's what Rick and Morty does so well, is they say it doesn't matter because there's a million of us. Like, watch us all kill each other endlessly. That's what's happening in Marvel, but they're trying to play it for stakes. And me as a moviegoer no longer cares if a character dies. At the end of Avengers Infinity War Endgame, Iron Man dies. Spoiler alert. Iron Man dies. I cared in the movie. I got sad in the movie. But now on retrospect, do I really care? Because there is an infinite amount of Iron Man. So much so that Robert Downey Jr. is now going to be playing Doctor Doom. Is it a variant of Tony Stark? Maybe. And I think that's the problem. That was my problem with the DC Superman versus Batman movies, is people keep dying. And so these aren't good characters because people are dying. What are the stakes? I don't know the stakes. All right, end rant.
Stakes matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that was the best part of finally that about the end game was, oh my gosh, they did it. They killed Tony Stark, and in like the bravest and most meaningful way possible. And it was emotional. And I think that him coming back fully negates that moment that a lot of us collectively had. I give so much props to especially IP or, sequel stories that actually deliver on stakes, TV shows that actually deliver on stakes. Again, one that's coming up, the second Avatar movie, spoiler alert, their oldest son is killed in that. And it's powerful. And the rest of that series, however many James Cameron's going to crank out, are going to deal with parents losing a child. Like, that's meaningful stuff. And I just feel like the Marvel Universe has become what I always prevented me from getting really into the comic books, which is it just became like a mishmash of characters coming back and dying and coming back, and stakes aren't real. Stakes just don't feel real.
That's why I like. Did you ever see the TV show? And I'll go over the history of Marvel in a second, but the TV show of Luke Cage on Netflix, season 1, I really liked that because it was a superhero in Harlem, and the stakes were some dude in Harlem was being bad, so he had to take care of it. It had nothing to do with galaxies. It had nothing to do with saving the planet. It was very neighborhood specific. And that's why I like that show so much, is because they lowered the stakes, but the stakes were higher than fucking an intergalactic demon is going to eat this entire universe. So we have to get out of our universe to go to a different universe. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah. I think also for me, as someone who's like not a Marvel person, it seems so convoluted at this point. It's like, why would I want to dive in? But also, I think for me, I'm very over the Ryan Reynolds shtick of it all. And like nothing about anything he's doing now is like, do I want to engage with? And there's just so much like winky, nudge, that's like, this doesn't seem entertaining, and like, it's not fun.
To devil's advocate that, I do think this is the Deadpool character, the 3 movies. Have you seen any of the movies?
I saw the first one. I saw the first one a long time ago.
I think that this is probably the best you can use Ryan Reynolds right now. I am sick of Ryan Reynolds' shtick. I had fun watching the new one. I know I just complained like a lot about it. I forget who said it. There was a podcast host who said like, Deadpool versus Wolverine is a comedy. Go into it thinking it's a parody of Marvel movies and you'll love it. And honestly, like, that's very accurate. It's not. It's two things. It's a parody of Marvel movies, but it's also a love letter to the Fox movies. So if you go into it that way, I don't know.
That's fine, but it's just so much. It's so much, and I like the Marvel movies, but like, these movies are not for people anymore. They're for super fans and Reddit users, as you kind of called out, only.
Yeah,
and they're not even movies. Like, now, this whole franchise is banking on being parodies of itself and calling back its most famous actor from 15 years ago. Like, that's not anything,
Yeah.
I don't think that this is going to turn out well for them. Obviously, this one did, but what are they going to do in every single movie? Like, bring back Jessica Alba from the 2000s Fantastic Four just so people get excited? Like, that's nonsense. Like, that's not art, It's not like cinema.
So let me go through. So I'm going to start with the films of Marvel. Do you know what the first, not Marvel Studios, the first Marvel character to appear in a movie is? Movie, not TV show,
Hulk.
not
There's
made
probably
for
like a
TV
Hulk.
movie.
Lou
Yeah, that'd be a
Ferrigno
made for TV movie.
Hulk or Spider-Man?
In 1986, Howard the Duck.
Oh,
Yes, that counts. That is a Marvel character.
Guardians.
And then in 1998, you get Blade.
Sure.
Spoiler alert for Deadpool vs. Wolverine. Although if you're listening to this,
Hey,
like,
Wesley
and you haven't
Snipes
seen
was
it
in
yet, who cares? Yeah, Wesley Snipes is in it. Which is funny if you remember that Ryan Reynolds is in Blade 3 or Blade Trinity. Kind of. There's a couple funny lines there. Elektra also pops up in Deadpool vs. Wolverine and has a great throwaway joke about Ben Affleck. Caroline, see that movie just for that joke because it's really funny.
Adding it to my watch list now.
As I go through these movies, Caroline, can you just call out which ones you've seen?
Yeah, there'll be like 4, so I can't wait.
1986, Howard the Duck. 1998, Blade. By the way, Blade fucking rips. Go see Blade. It's great.
Blade 2 reps.
Yeah, I just saw
That's coming up.
Love and Basketball for the first time at the Academy Museum, and Sana Lathan did the Q&A before, and she talked about filming, like, I think Blade was her first movie before that, and how that, like, helped her get Love and Basketball, which I don't know how I haven't seen before. If you haven't seen Love and Basketball, it's a perfect 2000 movie, but I love her. She should be a star, like Zendaya.
X-Men 2000. Did you see X-Men? The first one.
I think I saw the third one. With
gross.
With Kelsey
The
Grammer.
third one's the real bad one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I got
the
dragged
third one's
to-
like
yeah.
by far the worst. X-Men, huge hit. I saw X-Men in theaters. Ethan, you did too, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that movie's great. Blade 2 fucking rips. They went, how can we make Blade 1 better? And somebody went, Guillermo del Toro. Fucking good movie. That same year, 2002, Spider-Man comes out. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Of course,
Yes,
I saw
Caroline,
those.
you saw that
yeah,
one.
yeah. Come on, The Kiss, and then we
So,
had it on the OC.
2002.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Upside Down Kiss.
I remember there was the MTV Movie Awards parodied that, and it was Jack Black as
yeah.
Spider-Man and Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's pretty good. All right, 2003. You get X2, probably the best of the X-Men movies. Incredible movie. Incredible Brian Cox performance in that movie.
Really good.
You also get Hulk, the Eric Bana Hulk.
Bad.
The first time they tried to do Hulk. Hulk, rewatch that movie. The thing about that movie, it's directed by Ang Lee, and it is filmed in a certain way. Like, the edits are filmed like a comic book, and that you actually see the pages of a comic book turn. It's actually really cool how they did that.
Is that before the Edward Norton one?
Yes, it
Okay.
was. Also in 2003, though, you get Daredevil. The
Bad.
Ben Affleck Daredevil, which has a show-stealing performance from young Colin Farrell as Bullseye. 2004, you have The Punisher.
Bad.
Bad movie. Thomas Jane, right? And John Travolta, is that right? Is he the bad guy? Yeah, he is. Howard Saint. Also 2004, you have Spider-Man 2, which for many
Great.
years everyone said was the best superhero movie of all
It
time.
was so good. Dr. Ock.
You also have... God, that
Doc
movie's
Ock.
so good. I rewatched that recently. It's like Doc Ock is
Great.
Yeah.
great. And then Blade Trinity.
Bad.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds pops up as that. Bad movie. 2005, Elektra. Bad
Bad.
movie. 2005, The Fantastic Four.
Bad.
Is it bad?
Yes.
Because I rewatched it recently with my son, and I had so much fun watching it. Rewatch it. It's fun. It's
I'm not
bad,
going
yes,
to.
but it's fun. It's campy. 2006, Caroline's favorite movie, X-Men: The Last Stand.
Bad.
He was blue.
Remember
Why was he
when-
blue?
Remember in X, because he's Beast. That's normal. In X-Men: The Last Stand, do you remember when the Juggernaut says, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch"? Because
That's when the
famous-
internet took a turn for the worse.
Yeah. Well, and also these were directed by Bryan Singer, and that's a whole thing. And that
No, that one's not Brian
That's
Singer.
not Bryan
that
Singer?
one is
No. That one's Brett Ratner, just
Brett
as
Oh,
Ratner.
problematic,
also bad. Yeah.
if not more problematic.
Yeah.
2007, Ghost Rider. Now that's a
Bad.
movie I recommend rewatching.
No, don't
Ghost
watch it.
Rider is fun.
Do anything else
also
with your life.
Spider-Man. Also Spider-Man 3.
Oh,
Bad movie.
man.
Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Bad.
movie.
But okay, wait, can we go back
And
to
now-
Spider-Man 3 and talk about
Yes.
the Jazz Club Spider-Man?
Bad.
It was
Bad.
That was when my friends in high school and I were still seeing midnight movies. I remember we left and I was like, what did we just see?
Bad.
Can I tell you a fun? This is 100% true. People were laughing in the theater, and in my head, I was like, I think he looks kind of cool.
Eli,
Wow.
did you
I
dress
thought he
like
looked
did you dress like a meth?
I'm so
I
glad
thought
we
he
weren't
looked and
friends in
acted cool.
college.
I don't know. I thought, hey, for Halloween this year, can the three of us dress up like cool Peter Parker?
Okay,
I think
we'll
that's
all
pretty
do
cool.
it. All of us do it. Okay, we'll
Okay.
all
We're all
do
gonna
it.
show up.
Okay, I believe you. All right, and then the then like the Marvel Cinematic Universe gets formed in 2008. You get Iron Man, a movie I watched
Great.
yesterday.
I saw
It's
it.
so good. It's
You
so
know why?
good.
I said it's because that movie's for everybody. It's not for
Is it?
fanboys. It's for freaking everybody.
Mhm. But there
And I
was
think Jon Favreau has a lot to do with that. Jon Favreau and
I
Robert
agree.
Downey Jr.'s chemistry, like it's a great, well-directed movie.
I agree.
But also like Iron Man wasn't a popular character. Yes, there was a cartoon about it, which is on Disney Plus, the old Iron Man cartoon, which is so campy and so much fun to watch. But it wasn't like one of their key characters. It wasn't their Batman, but they needed it to be as popular as Batman, and they knocked it out of the park. That same year, you also get the Incredible Hulk, which is the Edward Norton
saw
Hulk,
that one.
which isn't bad. What I want to know the full story of what happened there that he got replaced by
I think
Mark
the full
Ruffalo.
story is that he's like a notoriously awful person to work with.
Ugh.
Same with
It's a
the
bummer.
other guy
Terrence
from
Howard.
Iron Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Terrence Howard. They're just like, we're not putting up with your shit.
Correct.
That's a bummer. I love keeping the faith.
You know what? I love keeping the
It's
faith.
I think we talked about it before. It's so good.
Not only
The
did we
r-
talk about it, Caroline, we pitched the idea of making it a Broadway
Oh, it
musical,
should be a
which
musical.
I still think can
it should
absolutely
be. It
work.
would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
I think we can make money here.
Yeah.
You can make money with a Broadway musical, right?
Not in podcast, but in a musical.
I hear you can make more money with a flop than with a hit. All right. Punisher Warzone also comes out in 2008. Did either of you see that?
no.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's better than the first Punisher, but
How many
it's
more
kinda
movies are
like
on
a
this list?
forgettable
There's
one.
like, I know we just started.
Yeah.
There's like 40.
2009 X-Men Origins Wolverine. Ethan, say it with me.
Bad.
Bad movie. 2010 Iron Man 2.
I think I saw that one.
Bad movie. 2011 Thor.
Didn't see it.
Bad
Bad.
movie. Directed by what's his face?
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. 2011 also X-Men First Class. I actually kind of like that movie.
Good.
Didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Captain America: The First Avenger.
Didn't see it.
Okay.
Good.
No, it's just
Go-
okay.
Okay. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
No one
Great
saw
movie.
it.
Amazing movie. 100% great movie. 2012 The Avengers.
Good.
Good. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Bad.
I'm actually shocked I didn't see these because I love Andrew Garfield. But
Yeah, the first one was good.
Yeah.
He's charming. They're bad.
2013 Iron Man 3. Good movie in
Bad.
my
Didn't see it.
opinion. You
Sorry.
didn't like Iron Man 3?
No, it's not that good.
I think it's pretty good. 2013 The Wolverine.
Bad.
Thor: The Dark World.
Bad.
Boring. 2014 Captain America Winter Soldier.
Great.
Very good. Okay, fine, great. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Bad.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
Great.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
I almost went great. I
Guardians
really
of the
like that movie.
Galaxy.
Great.
Great.
I think I saw this one.
It's
You
great.
should see Guardians of the Galaxy if you haven't.
I don't-
2015.
Chris Pratt, why?
No, he's great. It's great.
It's great.
It's a great movie.
2015 Avengers Age of Ultron.
Bad.
Ant-Man. Okay.
Good. I like Ant-Man.
I know, but as I was watching it, I was like, oh, Edgar Wright was supposed to direct this. It could have
I
been
know.
the best movie ever made. Also 2015, Fantastic Four starring Miles Teller.
Bad.
What? I don't think I ever saw that one. I think that's the one out of all of these I
That's
never
the Fan
saw.
Four Stick.
Yeah. Fan Four Stick, yeah. Deadpool 2016.
Good.
I saw it. It was fine.
Captain America Civil War. Great.
Okay. Oh.
X-Men Apocalypse. Bad. Doctor Strange.
Good.
Can I ask what year
Good.
we're at now?
2016.
Oh my god.
2017. Logan.
Good.
Oh,
Oh, I
Bad.
saw that.
Really? You're
Yeah.
not grading Logan?
Good.
It was fine. It was in the middle of the night that I was doing laundry, and like I've had issues with the laundry machine at someone else's house, so I have like a weird memory with it. But it was fine. He was good.
I love the running bit on the podcast Blake Check. Whenever they talk about Logan, they go, "You know it's a Western," which is very funny. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Good.
Oh, saw that.
That's great. Kurt Russell? Come on. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Good.
Good. Thor Ragnarok.
Great.
Black Panther. Great.
Good.
Yeah, I saw that
Just
twice.
good.
I saw it twice in theaters.
Black Panther's great.
Yeah, it was great because it's a
Academy Award nominated.
It's a standalone story that you don't need any
It is.
external stuff, and
I agree.
and it's Michael
That's
B.
why
Jordan.
we like it.
We have Chadwick Boseman. We have Viola Davis,
Best-
Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, best standalone Marvel villain was Michael B.
Oh.
Jordan in them.
It's so
movie.
good.
In the beginning, what's his name's in it too? The guy who got nominated for an Oscar last year. For
Sterling.
K. Brown.
K.
yeah.
Brown.
Yeah, because he was the dad. Or
He's
But
the
talking
dad.
about the movie where Mark Duplass has sex with Sterling K. Brown's growing vagina. Oh, wait, vice versa.
Great.
All right.
fine.
2018 Avengers Infinity War. Great.
Good.
I saw that movie in theaters, and at the end, when Spider-Man died, the kid in front of me started crying so hard and turned to his parents like, "Where's Spider-Man?" And I
Good.
just laughed.
Hope that kid fucking sobbed.
Although in 2018, Deadpool 2. Good.
Fine.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Good.
A comedy.
Yeah,
Venom.
comedy.
Venom.
Wild.
Also a comedy. 2019, Captain Marvel. Man.
Fine.
Avengers Endgame. Great.
Great.
Dark Phoenix. Bad.
Bad.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Good.
We told
2020, The New Mutants. The
Didn't
worst.
see it.
Out of all of these, it's the worst. It's the worst.
Which one
It's
is
the
the
worst. The
Spider-Man?
cast is so good.
Which one is the Spider-Man when all three of them show up? I think that's the next one I saw.
Coming
That's
up.
coming up. Don't
okay,
jump
I
ahead.
don't
That's coming
remember
up.
what that one was called, but I saw it on a plane.
This is absolute torture for Caroline.
This is
2021,
And
Black
our
Widow.
listeners.
Black Widow.
Bad.
Bad. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Amazing.
Wild.
Best movie ever made. Eternals.
Wild.
Bad.
Bad.
Spider-Man
No Way Home.
Is that the one?
good? Yeah, that's the one you like.
Oh yeah, I saw that after I watched the Pelican Brief on Iceland Air.
Pelican Brief.
Pelican Brief
Good.
is very good, very good. It's Cynthia Nixon, isn't it? Which I was
Morbius.
expecting.
2022,
Didn't see
Morbius.
it.
Bad. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Bad.
Weird. Thor, Love and Thunder.
Bad.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Didn't see it. I'm
gonna
so
say
sorry.
Bad. I'm gonna say bad. Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania.
Terrible.
Bad. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Gave me hope.
Good.
The Marvels. Bad.
Bad.
Hey, Ethan, 2024, Madam Web.
A plus.
I still need to see it.
Deadpool
Had
and
more
Wolverine.
fun seeing that movie than I've had all
Yeah.
year.
So that's all of them. And that doesn't include the TV shows. That's too many movies to be referencing each other. That is my problem with all of this. I'm fine referencing it. The end credits of Deadpool and Wolverine are like the outtakes from all of the Fox movies. That's fun. That's a love letter. But I don't give a shit anymore. And I don't know where they go from here. I don't know how you start over and reintroduce stakes and make movies that I care about.
I think they got, well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know this in Marvel terms, but I know this in Housewives terms. Because we had to blow up Real Housewives of New York because during the pandemic, we had a lot of racial issues happening with like George Floyd. It was a pandemic. We had a lot of racist cast members we had to deal with. And Bravo just did a completely new cast. We got Jenna Lyons. We had like a new younger cast, more diverse group of women from New York. So and it works, and it's like, and it's going well. We're having to do that probably with New Jersey next because its finale that was this week was one of the worst things I've ever watched, in Atlanta as well. So I don't know. Do they blow up? Do you blow up Marvel and we just recast it? New people?
I don't think you can. I
They
think the
can't
problem
anymore because they're interacting with like series that were never meant to be interacted with.
that's the thing, and they lost the stakes of each of those series as they interact with each other.
They lost
to
the
your
plot.
point, Black Panther is so good
Yeah.
because it's its own story. It's inside itself. It blows up when then you go like, in Black Panther 2, we have to introduce Ironheart because there's going to be a new TV show starring Ironheart.
That
And I'm
hasn't
like,
even come out yet.
I don't give a shit.
Do you know
Like,
what we
I
need
don't
to
know.
do? You know what we need to do? We all need to go see Sing Sing in theaters, including me. And honestly, just like stop accepting mediocre crap from see Dee. Like see like good cinema and see good blockbuster cinema. Like demand more from your blockbusters, right?
Yeah, go to Bend, Oregon, go to the last Blockbuster, and demand more.
I know.
Demand more.
Well,
Is that what you were saying?
yeah. I mean, I'll be interesting. I'll report back next. I feel like I'm going to have a separate rant about the Colleen Hoover movie next week because I think that movie is about to blow up the box office this weekend. And I think the influence of book talk is about to be reckoned with Hollywood in a way that I don't know that we're prepared for. So, but that's a separate conversation. But yeah,
It's a lot of money to the Reynolds Lively family
Oh,
in
yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
This is what I do for Marvel. I create an X-Men I create an X-Men movie that has nothing to do with the other Marvel movies. Brand new cast, could be a new universe. Eventually you can put them together, but make just a small X-Men movie. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And I want Wolverine to be cast either Daniel Radcliffe or Jeremy Allen White, dude from The Bear. That's who I want as my Wolverine, and I want to see that movie tomorrow.
I'll be honest, I don't want to see any of it. Like, I'm much more interested in like the Bruce Springsteen biopic that Jeremy Allen White's going to be in. I'm much more interested in seeing Dee Dee. Like,
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in, honestly, as much as I loved Dune 2, like, what's Denis Villeneuve going to do next? Like,
Yeah.
let's do something cool. Like, I feel like this IP moment has truly like masturbated into itself at this point. And that's a great idea. Masturbating into yourself. Wow.
I mean, it's like it's exhausting to go to these movies to know you have to do homework going into them. That is I don't want movies to feel like homework. We're there to have fun, and it feels like these movies are homework. And that's who wants homework when you're at the movies?
Can I say the last movie that I watched?
Yeah, Ethan, what have you been watching?
Not in theaters. This was already like 2 weeks ago. It's been so long since I've seen a movie. I watched The Age of Innocence, which is the movie that Martin Scorsese directed after Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
And what the swing to be like, let me make the greatest mafia story ever and then make this very polite society, absolute gut-wrenching movie about two people who don't get to be together. Big past lives vibes in this movie.
Love that.
DDL just like sneaking up on you as he does in all movies. Winona, maybe my favorite performance of Winona in a movie. Michelle Pfeiffer, perhaps a little uncast, but always very beautiful. Check out The Age of Innocence. I found it on Canopy. It was awesome.
We love Canopy. Support your local library.
So, to wrap up, our review of Deadpool and Wolverine is go see Age of Innocence.
Honestly, yes. Please.
That's pretty good.
Masturbating into yourself. Wow.